Good morning. Today is January 6th. It's a Saturday. Where am I? Can't tell because it's pitch black. But I am outside the gates of Cielo Vista Ranch, about 9 miles from New Mexico. So pretty much as south as you can go in Colorado here. And today I will be hiking Culebra Peak. For a full hike review of Culebra Peak, you can check the link below. So this is a pretty interesting hike and one that I'm very not used to, and I'm kind of anxious to see how today goes. So Culebra Peak is in the Cielo Vista Ranch, which is a private ranch, which means that in order to hike this mountain or any of the other mountains on this property, you need to have special permission from the ranch owners. What does that mean? Generally speaking, this changes from year to year, but it means you have to kind of get a reservation. So email or communicate with the ranch owners or property manager beforehand to allow access. It means that you have to kind of obey their rules. So it's 5:15 right now. If I was normally at a trailhead, I'd start hiking, but because it's this situation, I have to wait until 6, and that's when I'll be able to start hiking today. There is a fee associated with it. It changes from year to year. The hiking season changes from year to year. So definitely check the link below for a full review. I'll have more information about camping, about how to get here, about the fee. Right now it is $150, and they typically have allowed 25 hikers per day. They also typically have not allowed hiking in the winter unless there were special circumstances. Maybe these new owners will change that a bit. But in any case, it's definitely too early to start, so I'll be checking in and kind of explaining everything that I learned throughout this process once I get into the ranch. Okay, so about 2.5 miles into the hike, and definitely gotta say, it's the approach on this road is not easy. Even with a car, I would definitely have like a higher horsepower car go up some steep stuff when you can drive the road, because it is very steep. Literally for the whole 2.5 miles. Sections of it were close to 40 degrees, I would say, slope. Behind me you can see the first views of the day. So I'm about another mile from the 4-way sign, and then another couple miles to the upper trailhead. So it's still got a long ways to go, but the nice part is the snow level here is pretty low, which is nice, so I don't need snowshoes. But yeah, so far so good. Hopefully keep making good time. Although the snow level is low, it's kind of annoying because you have this like little kind of path here, but it's not wide enough to fit both of your feet like a comfortable stance. So you can see I'm like, I don't know what the word is, but kind of like sliding into the middle, and it just kind of like works your tiny little muscle fibers. So although it's a lot flatter since that field where I last checked in, it's not that much easier going because the snow is kind of like making you walk weird. At the 4-way here, you could park cars here in the summer, or in the spring if you can't go all the way up. If you're not in the spring, you want to just keep going straight up to the upper trailhead, and that's about another mile until you get to the upper trailhead here. So I can't really tell where the upper trailhead is, but somewhere around here. And then from here on out, you're basically on your own. So I'm kind of gauging which way makes the most sense. Looks like there's more snow over there and less on this side, so I think I'm going to try to just go straight up, even though it's going to be kind of a bitch as far as elevation and steepness. So but yeah, your end goal is to kind of get to the top of this ridge here, and then you can't see the top of Culebra yet, but it's kind of straight through that way. You can see down into New Mexico, and then you can make out the road I came up to. Okay, so I just realized that the way I've been going, which is like kind of up this middle gully here, doesn't really make a lot of sense. I mean, it does because there's more snow over there from what I can see, but really what I want to do is go like that way So I'm gonna have to go up to the ridgeline when I get up there and bang a right and probably add a little distance because of that. Okay, so this is your first look at the top of Culebra. So you can see there's a false summit and then the real one's kind of right behind it. I'm going to take a ridgeline, go over there, go all the way up, and that's the top. Snow level up here isn't too bad. Don't need snowshoes for sure. Probably micro spikes at some point. We'll see. Culebra is a class 2 hike, maybe class 3 in the snow. So nothing technical along this ridge. It's pretty much what you see is what you get. All right, I'm on the final ridge here. Pretty beautiful, very overcast. Winter's moving in, storm's coming in tonight, dropping a couple inches in the mountains. Yeah, very straightforward ridgeline. The snow is really not bad. It's very much gone on a lot of the high ridge points. This peak right here is what I might do. I'm not sure, depending on time. That's Red Peak. It's about 13,900, so just shy of a 14er. And I mean, you can see very close to Culebra here, so I might try to get that one in too, depending on how quickly I get up to the top. I'll tell you what, I'm pretty done with false summits on this stupid hike. I thought this was going to be the top. It's notably not. It's over there. Red is over there. So there's no way I'm going to be able to do red today. Just not enough time. It's taken much longer than I expected. I think I was going to have to hike all the way from the ranch check-in. So, oh well. Mountains aren't going anywhere. All right, top of Culebra Peak, 44 down. This one was a lot harder than I expected. That's what she said. Lots of false summits, a lot more miles than I was anticipating. But you know what, being able to hike with this little snow in January is pretty sweet. My time at the summit is going to be pretty short because, as you can see, I'm about to be enveloped in a snow cloud. So that would suck. Definitely not doing red today. Just not enough time, and the weather's not going to hold. So come back another time. I'll have more information about logistics on this on the way down. I kind of want to get out of the weather before it rolls in, but trail finding wise, it's very straightforward. The only thing that's a little bit tricky is that initial gully, but really once you get up to the ridge, you kind of have one way to go. So even though there's no official trail, there's a pretty worn-in path that you can follow for most of the way, so it's not like you're completely on your own. Yeah, solid hike. Definitely happy to get one out in January, and I'll just let you kind of take in the views here. Okay, on my way down, about halfway down now. Some of you may be asking, is there a freeway to hike Culebra Peak? And the answer is yes, there is. I do not endorse this by any means, and it is certainly not a replacement for the standard hike, as it's very taxing and very long. But you can check the link below here for more information about that. Again, I'm not endorsing that, but for the sake of getting information out there, I just thought that I would mention that here. So as far as the hike goes, I definitely would recommend spikes because there is no official trail. You'll be dealing with a lot of tall grass and potentially snow. Obviously, dogs are not allowed because it is a private ranch. But yeah, I would say the biggest thing to keep in mind is that it is a private ranch. So theoretically, they could close this tomorrow to the public. So definitely check in with management. Right now I worked with a guy named Carlos, super helpful. But yeah, as far as camping goes, you are allowed to camp inside the gate of Cielo Vista Ranch. So basically, you would have to park your car on the outside and then walk in with your tent. Fires are allowed as long as you keep them under control. That's pretty common sense on what that means. There are no bathrooms though, so kind of plan accordingly. But yeah, so definitely check in with the ranch owner to kind of see what the deal is for the season. I would only recommend this hike to someone who's trying to do the 14ers or the 13ers or the Centennials. It's not really worth shelling out $150 for your average hiker unless you're just trying to, throw away some money. But yeah, so you can now see down into New Mexico. Blanca Range over there. Obviously, the Sangre de Cristo extends all the way up, so you might be able to make out some more in the distance. So yeah, this is a moderate to hard hike, I would say, especially in the snow. If you're able to drive up farther, then it's going to drastically change your experience. About 14 miles round trip. And yeah, overall, it's a solid hike. For a full hike review of Culebra Peak, you can check the link below. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to not miss any future hike reviews.